This program is brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?
When running a business means
Where did I put that receipt?
we can help you with instant accounting, free software that does your bookkeeping for you. When running a business means
Wait, what do you mean the container hasn't arrived?
we help protect your business from risk with Mohwebi Insurance. And when it means
How do we pay our staff that don't have bank accounts?
we help you make multiple payments directly to people's phones with e-wallet bulk send. At FNB, we're constantly innovating to help business owners at every stage of their journey.
Who here agrees that vacations or holiday trips are therapeutic and one of the best ways to relax after a long year? They, however, have financial implications that we need to plan for well on time. How many times have you tried to go on vacation with a group of friends, set up a WhatsApp group to plan for your travels? You get excited looking forward to the trip and relaxing at a faraway place for some peace of mind, only to be the only person ready for departure on the day of travel. Issues arising are always centered around an insufficient budget from your travel companions. According to travel blog Lemonix, failing to plan for a vacation has far-reaching consequences than just the disappointment of being stood up. The publication states that billions of dollars are wasted each year on last-minute accommodation bookings, flight tickets, and entertainment. She says it is very important to show commitment towards that goal as it impedes a plethora of issues.
Honestly, after a long year, you want to reward yourself and just take a break from everything. So people decide on a destination to go to, when to do that. But what we fail to do is to start planning for it beginning of year. The benefits are that it becomes much more affordable because generally traveling is actually more affordable than we think. It's only that we think about it throughout the year, but it becomes an emergency now towards end of year when it's supposed to happen. So it's very, very important to have a budget for your travel plans and start saving throughout the year. 100 pula per month, 200 pula per month can take you a long way. And just if you're traveling December or early, January, it's important to at least secure your accommodation around October. You can only afford to do that if you've been saving throughout the year. Small amounts of money eventually accumulate to a whole lot or large sums of money. One of the things we've realized, people always assume because bonuses come in December or they're expecting payouts from your motelo, that's the money that will cover such expenses that go towards travel. But it's very important to show commitment because it's very common. People open WhatsApp groups that are active throughout the year, but when it comes to the date now of traveling, most of them are nowhere to be found. So it's very important for people to show commitment by opening an account where every month deposits are made. A spreadsheet is also set out to say, if it's a group of 5 people, every month, how far are you, how much is your balance, and those constant engagements throughout the year. So commitment needs to be done through depositing money or actually contributing money towards that particular trip.
when running a business means
Where did I put that receipt?
we can help you with instant accounting, free software that does your bookkeeping for you. When running a business means
Wait, what do you mean the container hasn't arrived?
we help protect your business from risk with Mohwebi Insurance. And when it means
How do we pay our staff that don't have bank accounts?
we help you make multiple payments directly to people's phones with e-wallet bulk send. At FNB, we're constantly innovating to help business owners at every stage of their journey.
Are you a lover of chocolate? Do you prefer the sweet, decadent taste of milk chocolate? Or are you more for the strong, bitter taste of dark chocolate? Like some people, you speak the language of chocolate-coated strawberries to show a bit of love to self or those you care about. While you indulge your senses swimming in the sweetness of your treat, has your mind not ever wondered about the actual worth of chocolate worldwide? Well, Zion Market Research puts the actual contribution of chocolate to the global economy at $108.52 billion and this figure is expected to grow to $161.56 billion by 2024. Well, these figures should not be surprising really, because chocolate is the most consumed, most known and most profitable component of the confectionery industry across the world. Based on the quantity of cocoa, different ranges of chocolates are produced worldwide. In fact, driving the growth of the global market for chocolate is the increase in consumer preference, which made for an imperative factor that aided companies to focus on product development and marketing tactics that help expand a wider consumer base and capture new markets. So speaking of cocoa, did you know that Africa produces about 75% of the world's cocoa and only gets about 2% of the profits from this $100 billion industry? So if Africa is producing the majority of cocoa worldwide, surely this great continent should be flowing with the riches. Hoping to tap into the value chain of trading in chocolate are Kalahari Chocolate, local chocolate brand in the business of processing the treat, handmade from the finest Western African cocoa powder. Kalahari Chocolate started operations in September 2018 as the very first chocolate manufacturing company in the country, born of the dreams of its managing director, Casilda Mampani. When visiting Ghana, the chocolatier was impressed by the decadence of the local chocolate made from the local cocoa and thought to bring the concept home. The idea was to bring to life a concept that would speak to the native richness of Botswana to international buyers, and so the name Kalahari came about. The establishment produces about 5,000 bars of chocolate a day. Infused with indigenous fruits like morula, the chocolate manufacturer explores creating a product unique to the soils of Botswana, setting it apart from the rest of other household chocolate brands. Currently, the establishment employs 14 people, with this number expected to grow as the business expands. The chocolate makers pride themselves in having a majority of women at the plant, as they are the largest group affected by unemployment. First Issue spoke to Kalahari Chocolate's marketing manager, Tuso Isaacs, about the vision behind the chocolate establishment and the bitter side to an otherwise sweet sector.
My director does a lot of traveling. So she happened to be in Ghana. And in Ghana, they actually have cocoa and they make chocolate as well. So that's where she saw the whole chocolate process, making and stuff like that. And it's something that she wanted to duplicate. She wanted to know if she could duplicate it here in Botswana. And that's why we decided to start the chocolate company. And another thing, we figured it was something which is very unique, so would possibly have a chance of succeeding if we did it the right way. So that's exactly why.
What were you envisioning, or what was she envisioning when she started this?
Well, basically, we wanted to, everybody eats chocolate, first of all. Let me just start saying by that. Everybody loves chocolate. Yes. So we wanted to go head to head with the giants.
We've got so many traditional brands that we're used to.
Yes, yes.
So you've been in the industry for quite a while now. So how have the chocolates been received?
We actually haven't been in the industry for such a long time. I think it's just been a year now. This is actually our first anniversary. So it's only been a year, but so far it's been so good. The reception has been great. Everybody loves the chocolate. We're getting great feedback, even by people who are from outside of the country who have tasted all the best chocolates in the world, love our chocolates. They love our chocolates. So I think so far so good. It's really good.
In an otherwise very sweet industry, obviously there are going to be some bitter sides. As far as your challenges that you've encountered, the hurdles, do you mind getting into those?
Yeah, obviously when it comes to chocolate, chocolate is very expensive to make, because you can imagine you need all the machinery, you need to do your packaging and stuff like that. Obviously we'd love to do our packaging in-house, but as for now we're not able to do that because, like I said, it's expensive. So we have to do our packaging outside of the country. We have to source out so we can get some really good packaging. So, and then other challenges, like I said, they are giants in the business. I mean, in Botswana here, we've been consuming chocolate. And that is exactly what people are used to. So it takes a lot of finesse, a lot of marketing to introduce something that is new. So that is what we're slightly, like we're doing it slowly but surely. We're trying to change the mindsets of people to start buying Kalahari chocolate. Yes.
You've just been talking about it being very expensive to be setting up this enterprise.
Yes.
So part of that would be importing your base, which is the cocoa. How do you go about that? I mean, the ports are far out into the continent here.
You need cocoa to make chocolate. And as for now, we've actually acquired machines to process the cocoa in-house. But what we've been doing for now, we have been buying chocolate which has already been infused with the cocoa. And that's how we've been making our chocolate. But we're going to start processing our own cocoa here, which we're going to export from Ghana. And then start making our own chocolates and stuff like that. Yeah.
Importing from that far in an industry that is already struggling to grow because of certain issues that I'm sure you're pretty aware of. How are you going to be tackling making sure that you're going to be surviving in an industry that is taking forever to progress?
One of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make, especially local manufacturers, they have this idea that because it's local, Botswana need to buy it. And that is not exactly the case. I mean, first of all, before people can buy your product, you need to make sure you're giving people something which is very high in standard, like great quality. The packaging needs to be great. And those are some of the things that we have tried to tackle. As you know, I don't know if you know, but our packaging is really up to standard. It's very good. I mean, I've gotten great feedback from people. And the chocolate itself, it tastes magnificent. It's by far the best tasting chocolate that I've ever had. So once you have covered that, you need to make sure that your marketing is very strong. It goes down to marketing. You need to make sure you market the product. You can't just expect Botswana to buy because it's from Botswana. You need to give them something which is of high standard for them to buy. So we're really pushing on the marketing side. We're just about to go into retail. And then once it's in the shops, we hope Botswana will support the product.
Issues of compliance, how have you tackled those with, it's a consumable?
Yes.
Safety?
Yes. Yeah, obviously with something which people poses a lot of health threats, that it's being consumed, there are many health checks that are involved. There's licensing and stuff like that you have to go through. You can't just start manufacturing chocolate and sell it. Obviously, you have to go through all the necessary departments, your ministries of health, all the other checks, all the people that do BOCRAs and stuff like that to get the right licensing before you can actually go into trading. And we've done that and we've gotten all the licensing. Even with us here, we try to make sure we have people to come and check, like do an audit to see if everything health-wise, everything is hygiene-wise, everything is done the right way.
When running a business means
Where did I put that receipt?
we can help you with instant accounting, free software that does your bookkeeping for you. When running a business means
Wait, what do you mean the container hasn't arrived?
we help protect your business from risk with Mohwebi Insurance. And when it means
How do we pay our staff that don't have bank accounts?
we help you make multiple payments directly to people's phones with e-wallet bulk send. At FNB, we're constantly innovating to help business owners at every stage of their journey.
You're an individual whose interest in wine surpasses just the basics of the fullness of your bottles, but also the nose and what could be best paired with each bottle as far as food is concerned. But did you know that professionally there's a name for you? Well, there is, and it is sommelier. Also, where do you start when you're looking at a massive wine list or one where the wines you recognize are not wines you want to drink? Ask to talk to the sommelier. They can tell you what the restaurant specializes in and help you find good values on the list, or even recommend special wines that are not printed on the menu. Many people would define a sommelier as someone who knows a lot about wine, but not much about jewelry. They also possess the stamina of a marathoner, the tact of a diplomat, and the calloused feet of a door-to-door salesman, because usually they are in the business of carrying wine crates and serving of entertaining people. As of early 2019, only 249 people the world over have attained the title Master Sommelier, which is the highest level one could attain in this profession. But hoping to be the youngest wine connoisseur in Botswana is Gerald Maje, a young, ambitious man with a zeal for all things wine. Well, Gerald hosts dinner parties with the intention of speaking and teaching his guests about wine, an interest he developed when he was working for a local wine company.
First of all, I just like to say wine sommeliering, first of all, it's a very difficult career to choose because there's so much information and it looks good on Instagram, but it's very difficult in the theory part. If you're not a reader, a person who does research, it becomes quite difficult. I got into the passion of wine sommeliering because I started this little concept called Esquire. Yeah. Now, Esquire, in my little writing, it means man at his best, right? Yeah. And when you're a man at his best, I believe in the power of attraction as well. So when you like the finer things, you kind of attract the finer things, right? I started as a sales rep for a company called Dwayne Wines. I don't know if you've heard of it. And I was tossed into the deep end. I was literally meant to go make my first pitch. Unaccompanied, no boss, no supervisor, nothing like that. So I was forced to learn what I was selling. And in learning what I was selling, I got more curious as to how can they be over millions of people traveling a year to go taste a wine from a certain region. There must be something we're missing out on, right? And by virtue of my curiosity, I started loving the history behind the various wines. And then as I kept going, I became head of sales Botswana, and then I became a tutor of wines for different restaurants and hotels, and so on and so forth. And eventually, I am where I am. I always like saying I'm probably one of the youngest wine sommeliers you get in this country at the moment. So that's how I got into it.
Your journey has been so long and progressive, you know, but for a person who wants to get into it, what does it take to be what you are today?
First of all, you need to, wine actually is an entity in the tourism sector, right? I got through it when I was studying tourism and hospitality management in the University of Botswana under Masia, being our head of department, and we had a food and beverage course. And in it, that's when I learned the basics of wine, right? So I would say for you to get into it, you can start either in the tourism sector or you can go directly. But unfortunately, at the current moment, our country is not yet in a position to have it as a whole formal education module, right? So the best chance is Stellenbosch University online courses. You can find them there. They're not that expensive, I think. Cape Wine Academy is one of them. You can do it online as well. Maybe just go do a practical in South Africa. So for now, I would say you can go direct by using Stellenbosch University or Cape Wine Academy, right? And then there's always a lot more online. But those are the ones that I trust and have a few experiences with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So essentially, why should one consider being a sommelier?
The people that I've met in my little journey of wine sommeliering are the most fascinating people. These are people who love information, who love history, who love the finer things, right? I would recommend you, and those are the people who are willing to pay, remember? I mean, if you can get a bottle from 30 pula for your average budget, all the way to 6,000, there must be something you can benefit from it, right? And I would recommend more people to get into it because, one, networking purposes, you always, without a doubt, are going to meet the most fanciest, most wealthiest, because they love that type of stuff, one. Two, monetary. I mean, we have restaurants opening every single month in this country. They need to know how to serve. We have international travelers that come to Botswana. They need to know how to pair wine. So career-wise, I think it's still an opportunity because you get to train different people. And in training, you grow in experience, you leave a mark in everywhere you go, and you get a good financial return. For example, if you take one hotel has up to 8 to 12 waiters, you can imagine how many people if you charge per head. Well, you get what I'm trying to say there. You get what I'm trying to say there. So I do recommend a lot of people. And also, etiquette. Wine has this beautiful etiquette, and once you live or you follow the passion of wine, it kind of trickles down to your day-to-day life, you know, because it's such a clean type of industry. Your life also starts to kind of turn into that manner as well. You always want to look sharp, you want to look neat because you're serving a very neat beverage daily. So it helps you also with discipline in terms of your day-to-day life and activities. You know, it's a finer product, you become a finer person.
I'm happy that you were talking about the returns of it, but what sort of satisfaction are you getting from this? Is it, do you do it for the passion? Do you do it for the money? Or is it a little bit of both?
Over and above the survival, I'm passionate. If people follow me on social media, they'll always see Jerry and wine. And I always tell people I'm the Jerry and the wine. I love talking about wine. For me, it's really passion more than anything because I love the impact it has had in my personal life, right? And the people I get to meet. It's easy for me to network now and meet the most fascinating people from higher positions, you know. So because obviously it's still a niche market and it's not yet well established in Botswana, I don't mind. I see the growth. So in me seeing the growth, I'm going to be one of the first few people to have been where I am now. By the time it blows, I'll be a pioneer of it. You get? So I'm more looking at the bigger picture than the returns now. Of course, we have different distribution companies that have alcoholic beverages and wine, right? So in order to sell wine to a wine drinker, you need to be able to talk about the wine. And that's where I come in. So you'd find that a lot of the distributors will probably want to associate themselves with someone like me who can sell the wine better.
We have come to the end of the program. Join us again next week for more First Issues. Do remember that tomorrow is National Elections Day. Make sure your voting card and valid omang are ready so you exercise your right to vote. Until then, good night.
This program was brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?